Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program and producer, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you into an hour where you are investing into yourself. The nice thing about this investment, folks, is it's information that you can start and use today without costing a dime. So we are here on Daily with Doc and Becca. We are sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. So if you were invited by somebody specific, because we are a resource for an amazing community of health coaches, health professionals, and people that just care about people and want to see them on a better health journey, they are your person. You need to get back with them. Let them know what you appreciated most about today's program. And if you have any questions, they're your number one point of contact. If you found us on your own, you may give us a call at 855-949-3377. You can find out more about us at dailywithdoc.com, and we do have an option there. Sign up for our newsletter, and you can even send us a note and let us know where we can meet you to help you on this thing we call a health journey. Now, as a certified naturopathic practitioner, I love being able to look at the body as a whole and not segmented. And that's where today's guest fits right in, as we are looking beyond just what we put in our mouth, beyond just the nutrition, but how it works with the holistic part of the body. And we are looking at the natural laws and the unnatural laws when it comes to life. So help me welcome to the screen Julio Cesar Mendoza. He is a certified functional medicine practitioner along with other certifications, and it is my honor and privilege to be able to share him and his knowledge with the world here on Daily with Doc. Let me see if I can find him here and get him added. Hello, Julio. How are you today?
Hello, Becca. Nice to see you. Thank you for having me back. I'm fine. Just great to be here. I cannot describe it. So thank you so much.
Well, you are most welcome. So folks, Julio, he is an artist. He is a lifetime student of life, author. Did I say artist? He is an artist in his own way too, but he's an author of a book that is in Spanish. I can't wait until you get the English version of that published, my friend, so that I can read it easier and faster. But let's talk today about natural law. What is natural law? Oh. So I know you have a presentation. You're going to go ahead and pull that up. Yes. And I'm going to let you go through it. And as I have questions, we'll ask questions. Folks, if you're here live with us, make sure that you have that chat open, as Marilyn does a fantastic job with transcription and putting into type what is being spoken. For those of you who are out on all the different platforms, if you'd like to join us live, we are here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific, 1 to 2 Mountain, 2 to 3 Central, and 3 to 4 Eastern. You can join us by going to zoom.dailywithdoc.com. All right, Julio, are you ready to share screen?
Yes, sure. And it was easier for me to do the presentation. It's kind of, a lot of info. So it's better that the viewers can see it at the same time that we are presenting. I think it's a little bit it will be more understanding, more clear. So let's see.
Absolutely. So we're reaching those that have a better understanding visually and audibly. So thank you so much for that.
Okay, let's see if I can find it. For some reason, I cannot. Okay.
Is it? There you go, right there.
There we go. Okay.
And let's.
There we go. Oops. Yeah.
All right, take it away, my friend.
Okay. Thank you, Becca. Thank you, team. Thank you so much, and thank you, like I said, for having me back. Yeah, natural laws and what is versus non-natural laws. I always have this screen because this slide is very important. And for some of you that probably were on the first podcast, some of these slides might be repetitive, but they're important. And here we made a little change. Here's the speaker, me. That's my identity, Julio. But inside Julio, there is an essence. The same way there is an essence in all of you here present, and that's the beautiful thing about being human beings. And then we have Dr. Wallach. That's his identity, but then he has also an essence. And thanks to that essence, those attributes, we're here learning about health. And health is more than just treating the body like Becca just described. It's just we need to see the body or the person holistically. We need to feel the spirit and that essence and the mind, which controls the outside with the inside, the cosmos with our personality, and then of course the body, which is the vessel. And then that essence, and it's also in Spanish on purpose, is so that you can see that your subconscious is working fine. So we are human beings. Human in Spanish means ser, and being, and I'm sorry, human means humano, and being means ser. It's opposite. So in real life, that balance is not balanced. We are more let's say, dealing with life more on the human side of us. That human side of us needs shelter, food, it needs to work, it needs shoes, it needs all those basic needs. But there is an essence that is inside of us that is dormant, and it's the consciousness, that consciousness of being that is dormant. So anyway, natural law is about that. And when they asked me to do this podcast, I was meditating a little bit. And whatever information I'm going to be sharing with you today is, it might be subjective for some of you, but it's very objective because when we are in connection with our beingness, we are in connection with natural laws. And when we are not connected, then we are connected with our non-natural laws. Some people call it the human laws. So anyway, just keep in mind that Dr. Wallach, put your image there, put your picture, each of you, and as I'm presenting, just visualize yourself to see if this resonates like it did with me as I was meditating and downloading this information in a way. So natural laws in health. Okay, natural laws, they also asked me, I was talking to some of the team members and they say, Julio, you can talk about plants. I have a background in herbalism, 2 years, which is fascinating. I love plants. I love anything that comes from nature. But specifically plants, they have a specific energy and their own essence. So natural laws and health, the power of herbalism, and why nature works better than non-nature when we would like to achieve optimum health. How it synergizes the absorption and power of supplements. We need to supplement nowadays because we are non-aligned with natural law. We're supplemented because of that reason. And when we align with natural laws, everything works fine and everything flows. It's like magic. So this is the disclaimer. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you have options available. Here is a beautiful word that I like about the FDA disclaimer. Keep it in mind, as an empowered individuals. The essence empowers us. So we need to bring that essence always into place. And also, as I was doing the presentation and as I was creating it, something was coming to mind. And throughout my life and dealing with my patients and clients, whatever we may call them, um, uh, there was something missing. On last podcast, I said that the 90 nutrients, they work fine, but sometimes they don't work. And I reached the conclusion, also taking care of family members and other people, that when we are not in alignment with natural laws, everything becomes a little bit more challenging, more difficult. When we are in alignment with natural laws, then everything flows. So that's another thing that I learned as I was doing this and as I was treating other people. Sometimes not judgment when we are dealing with human beings. We're complicated human beings because we have our own essence and we have our own personality. That's what makes life fascinating. It's the fact that some of them, they say, Julio, your treatment doesn't work. What's going on? This supplement doesn't work. It makes me sick. It makes me this, it makes me that. And you become, oh, wow, what's going on? And then once you start observing and listening to your patients, you can see and feel that there's not an alignment with natural laws. So I realized that, and it's not judgmental what I'm saying. It's just a process of consciousness, levels of consciousness, and we all have our process to deal with. It's like a journey. So there is no judgment, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing wrong or good. It's just a flow, just flowing with whatever understanding we have today. So I hope this presentation makes sense, and I wanted to bring that up before continuing. So natural laws are fundamental. Where are they? Principles that govern the functioning of the universe. So we are surrounded by so many things and can be understood as the rules that govern the behavior of nature. Plants, gravity, the sun. How do they work? Both physically and biologically. Our bodies, do we know how our bodies work inside of us? We know we have a vessel, but how does the automatic system work? How does it work? Our liver, my heart is right now working. These laws directly influence human processes. Some of the natural laws that influence health include, I'm going to name some of them because we need to understand them in order to achieve this optimum health. It's part of us. The law of interdependence, let's call it number one. This law states that everything in nature is interconnected. Human beings are not isolated. I'm here, but I depend on the sun, I depend on the weather, I depend on the shelter, the gravity, the food that I'm eating, the supplements that I took today. For instance, I took some valerian to be calm, so that's good. This implies that our health is closely linked to the health of the earth and its ecosystems. If we damage the environment, this is reflected in our health, whether through pollution, climate change, or biodiversity. This makes sense. How to align ourselves with that? Well, we must adopt habits. I would like you to emphasize the word habits right here. Everything is habits and discipline that respect the equilibrium. Interdependence, if I'm part of this interdependence, if I'm part of this atmosphere and I damage the terrain, the land where plants are usually, are always growing to provide fruits, mango, avocados, all those beautiful things that we need. And if we ruin the terrain, that's going to affect our microbiome because we are we're connected. Even though everything is interdependent, we are connected. So we need to adopt habits that respect the balance of nature, such as reducing our ecological footprint, consuming responsibly, and protecting the environment. Number two, law of equilibrium. We have an equilibrium in our body, which is called homeostasis. We need to balance those two. Human beings, we need to balance. If we look at the scale at the beginning of the slide, the human side is heavier than the being inside of us, that essence. And the essence should be the one governing the human side of us, not the other way around. So everything must be in balance. Even the body shows it. So the human body, for example, needs balance to function optimally. Imbalances in the body can lead to disease. So what is a disease? A disease is not being in alignment with nature. It's a cause and effect of what we're doing to nature, which is another law, which I will later describe. This includes not only physical balance, such as water, nutrients, and rest, but also emotional, mental, and spiritual balance. We're talking about the holism, the holistic way of dealing with the body. How do we get aligned? Maintaining a balanced diet, getting enough sleep, exercising regularly, and managing stress are some ways to maintain balance. In addition, working on emotional and mental stability is also crucial for overall health. It's nice to emphasize here, and I would like to bring it up, the definition of health from Dr. Glidden. I don't know it, right 100%, but he says when the body can face stress and it goes back to that equilibrium, we're on the right track. But when we cannot face stress and the body gets unbalanced and it starts creating symptoms and inflammation and we don't turn it off, then that leads to chronic illness. So chronic illness is that we're not in alignment with that, with the big, of how we are in alignment with natural law. We are not balanced. We are disconnected. We are not connected with the environment. So we need to be balanced in equilibrium. Love of the cycle. I love this. We have the sun, the moon, the night, the day, circadian. We have it. The years is 365. Some people say it's less. We have 24 hours. Some people say 16 hours. I don't know what's happening, but we have a cycle. That's the good point. We have emotions. We are sad. We react a certain way. We're happy. We react a certain way. But what about happiness and contentment? I can be happy because something happened to me. But what about if I am under earthquake, but I'm still contented? That's hard. Why? Because it comes from my essence. It doesn't come from my body part. It doesn't come from my human part. So even words in linguistics, they change. Happy comes from human. Contentment comes from the essence. So we neurolinguistic, it's very powerful as well because that's how we program our minds. So we have cycles. That's what the important things here in this third law. So how do we do, or what do we do to be in alignment? Respecting our own circadian rhythm. We need to sleep at 10 o'clock and wake up at 6 probably. Each organ starts regenerating at each specific hour of the night. Imagine if we work during the night and then we sleep during the day. Are we doing something to the body? The hormones get imbalanced. Melatonin goes down. Serotonin is a mess. Oh my goodness, imbalances. Adapting to seasonal changes, we need that. Recognizing the importance of the body's renewal cycles. Like I said, being in harmony is the principle. It's being in harmony with nature. Fourth, adaptation. If we get someone from the North Pole, right, who is used to eating whales and meat and all that from the cold weather, and we take him to South America or to the equator where it's hot, the body will adapt. That's the beautiful thing about this adaptation law. So nature rewards beings that adapt to their environment, and at the same time goes for the human body. Our health depends on our ability to adapt to the changes and challenges that the environment presents to us, which is stress, whether that means physical, emotional, or mental. How to align ourselves. To maintain health, it is important to adopt a flexible mindset and learn to adapt to circumstances. Being resilient, which is emphasized later on, which includes lifestyle changes to be more resilient instead of resistant to things in difficult or stressful situations. So I hope you can have a summary. So we need to adapt. We have that power. We are interconnected with everything. There is a lot of equilibrium. There is a lot of cause and effect, which I think is coming right now. The law of action and reaction. Whatever I do to the environment, whatever I do outside, it will come multiplied to me. If I'm doing harm to the land, if I'm not eating well, if I'm constantly sad, if I have a stressful occupation or problems in the family, whatever's happening, which is life, by the way, that's called life, but I don't get a balance out of that, then my bodies will get unbalanced, but my body will not get in homeostasis. My emotions will be all over like a roller coaster. So everything we do has a consequence. And in nature, this law is very clear. Our actions can directly affect our health. Essence, remember on my first podcast, I talk about emotions and I provided an acronym. Whenever we are in our ego or in that human side of us, which is important, by the way, self-respect is important. It's the way we deal with life. There's something called algae. Whenever we're anger, lust, or attachment, or something that is not working well, that's part of our human side. But whenever the opposite, that pure or that love or that happiness, that joy, the truth of what we are is working, then we are in alignment with natural law. So even that shows a duality. So that's what I wanted to emphasize. So imagine that we are creating with love, we are creating with joy, we are creating with happiness. What's going to be manifested to us? The same thing, more love, more happiness, more everything. So our body's reaction can be, if we don't do that, can lead to diseases or discomfort. How to align ourselves, practicing healthy lifestyles. Again, the word habits is the best way to make sure that the reactions are positive. Out good, in good. Negative, I get negative. This includes nutritious eating, regular exercise, good hygiene practices, and mental and emotional care. I want to emphasize here, I would love to emphasize here, this includes nutritious eating. What about if we are doing the right thing and we are conscientious about what we're doing throughout the body, but whenever we get something from the outside, non-nutritious, because the minerals are not there, anything is not, it's not working fine. It's not my fault, I say. I mean, what's happening as collective consciousness? What are we doing to the outside that is affecting each of us individually and also as a collective? Something to think about it. I have control of my good hygiene practices. I have control of my regular exercises. I have control of my mental and emotional care, but there are some things that not depend on me, or that I might be aware that they don't work. Like I'm aware that I need to eat nutritious meal, but what about if what I'm getting is not enough? That's why we need supplementations, which I will later on talk about. Let's go to this sixth law, energy law. Everything in the universe is in constant motion and transformation, and human beings are not exception. We are an energy inside the body. We are an essence. That essence will go when we depart this world. And then that essence is pure flow. The purpose of metabolism is to create ATP. So we can move my hands, I can talk, I can look at the screen, I can do whatever. That's the way my five senses are working through ATP, through energy. So if I don't have energy, all those five senses will not work fine. But again, all those five senses also will work either towards my human side or will work toward my essence. In other words, if I bring up the attributes of my essence, my five senses will start creating in the same way and will get back something the same way: love, contentment, whatever. If I'm angry, then I'm using my senses also. I'm using my words in the wrong way, whatever, that's going to bring us back negativity. So we are energy. That's the point here. And that energy is needed to manifest our beingness outside, whether it's through food we eat, the air we breathe, or the emotions we experience specifically. Maintaining a healthy and balanced flow of energy is crucial for good health. How to align? Maintaining a daily exercise practice, proper breathing, and positive emotions helps maintain healthy energy circulation. In addition, practices such as meditation and yoga can help keep the energy balanced in the body. I was aware right now that I was probably talking too fast. My awareness said, will you slow down, breathe, so your energy circulates. So it's a constant awareness that we need to bring at every specific moment. Continuing with this energy law, as it is above, is below. So imagine we have a cosmos which is perfect. And then we are supposed to bring in that cosmos, that universe, which is loving and peaceful and all that, which is it's being created, it's already there, to manifestation. So that law, as is above, is below. So what about how do I connect with the cosmos through the nervous system? The nervous system, the pineal gland, lots of things are going on. The nervous system, the hormones, everything. We are a magnificent biochemical vessel. I mean, full of chemistry. It's magnificent. So if I'm creating, if I'm bringing from above everything with love, everything will be manifested with love. And the opposite, or vice versa, the opposite also is applicable. As is above is below means as the cosmos is created, the information is downloaded the same way to be manifested. So here, very briefly, what to do to be in line with natural laws. I already mentioned some of them in each particular law, but let's add some more. Living mindfulness, just Julio breathe, Julio do this, Julio. It's like another person is guiding you. Take care of your body and mind. If my vessel is not working well, if my melatonin is not working well, I'm not sleeping, there is an imbalance. Balanced diet, resting, connect with nature. Why? Trees give us oxygen. They have a different energy, different feel. Going at the beach. So many of us have gone to the beach and then we put the feet on that sand with salty water, ocean water, and then we feel fantastic. We'll feel rested. We feel beautiful. That's because we are connecting ourselves with the rest of the world. We're not isolated anymore. Walking in the forest, swimming in the sea, help us synchronize with the natural rhythm of the planet. Even, going to the sea, for those that have the opportunity of going to Israel, we know that that ocean is very salty. when you go in, you're creating detox, osmosis. Water, salty water is getting into the body and it's getting all the toxicity out of your body. That means that the more we connect with the environment, we'll even get, detox. So that's fantastic. We get cleans and all that. Practice gratitude and respect. Why? Because we are practicing on our essence. We're getting away from the ego and from all the blame and all that. Building resilience is part of that adaptation law, accepting the changes. Life is not perfect, but it's a journey. So Benjamin Franklin said, this is repetitive, but it was important to bring it up. God heals, and the doctor picks up the bill. So God heals. We have that divine intelligence. When we are in alignment with natural law, God is healing. It's the divine intelligence working. When we are not in alignment with natural law, we need to surrender ourselves to the exterior. And we need to say, doctor, please, can you help me? Because we are not aware of our emotions, of our body, of our wholeness. So we surrender. So we need to get our power back. Empowerment, which is part of the FDA statement. Something to bring up, because it's usually how we connect to the exterior is to the nervous system. So we have this duality. Always we have two things in life. Only when we depart, we go back to essence. We go back to the origin. But while we're alive, we are divided. We are like in two different dimensions, two different worlds. So in this world, we have something in the nervous system called sympathetic and versus parasympathetic system. And we know what we deal with here. We need both of them. The sympathetic is to put us in action. Right now, I'm using my sympathetic, but I need to balance with my parasympathetic nervous system so I can talk slow, better. So anyway, when we are in balance, then we get control. So the sympathetic system nowadays, because we are not in alignment with nature, is all the time on. We cannot turn it off. We know how to turn it off by being in alignment with all those laws that I mentioned before. Because in the parasympathetic system, God or the universe or that essence gave us something very powerful. When we go back to that parasympathetic nervous system, guess what? That's rest. That's healing. That's where the body starts working fine and not against us, but with us. So I wanted to bring this up on this slide. So here, we already mentioned about the parasympathetic, promoting states of rest, repair, and homeostasis. Here's where the repair takes place. So let's say I am under a treatment with conventional or whatever, or even holistic, but I'm turned on, my sympathetic system is all the time turned on, and I'm not in alignment. I'm not turning on the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is in the parasympathetic system, helping regulate inflammation, heart rate, and everything that I don't see. So I may have, the best knowledge or what have you regarding how to heal, but then I'm not connected with the natural laws because of not educated or ignorance or awareness. I don't like that word, but let's say we're not aware. I love that. It's awareness. And then that we have programmings in our minds that tells us, no, don't believe that. It's the other way around. So the mind is very powerful. It's up to discern what's programming, old, and what is new. We need to undo the old so newness can come. So natural law within the body refers to the body's innate ability to heal and maintain balance. The parasympathetic nervous system, especially through vagus nerve activation, aligns us with this law by allowing the body to heal, regenerate, and restore itself and stress after stress or injury. The parasympathetic nervous system and natural law are deeply connected because they both govern and promote balance. Isn't that fantastic? So we already have it in the body. We just need to turn it on. So this word, as I was walking and I was somehow preparing this slide, I don't know, something that happens to me, and I said, between you and me, don't tell anybody. But as I was walking and I saw, for some reason, this word came to mind. I was preparing the presentation, and the word isomer came because I was saying, okay, help me, universe, what should I say about natural law? So this word came, I looked it up in the dictionary, and then I remember my chemistry. So an isomer is a chemical that has the same molecular formula as another. I will explain later, after this slide. But different arrangement of atoms in space. In other words, isomers are compounds that contain the same elements in the same amount, but their structure or shape can vary. So we know it's the same thing, but different. This structural difference can affect the chemical, physical, biological properties of the substance. Does this have to do with the difference between plant nutrients and patent? Definitely. They have an important relationship. Yes, isomers have an important relationship with the difference between plant nutrients and patent drugs. Although the connection is not direct in all cases, the molecular structure of a substance has a crucial impact on how it interacts with the body's biological system. I will explain better later. In contrast, plant nutrients generally have a more complex structure. Plants are fantastic. They have everything. I love herbalism, as you can see. There's a lot of passion there. And we eat plants, we eat fruits. So we need to understand all the chemical compounds behind them. So they're natural. They tend to be in the forms that the body needs. The body recognizes all those molecules, all those natural structures, because it's in alignment with nature. Synergy of nutrients versus isolated molecules. Synergy. Plants are synergistic. They work together. They work as a whole. We eat, let's say, a mango, and then we eat a mango. There are a lot of chemicals in that mango. We eat an avocado, fatty acids. Lots of things are going on in that avocado. But we also need to respect how to eat food. There's something called, I think, trophology or something like that, the word in English. In Spanish, is tropología. It's how we combine food. Like I cannot combine, for instance, vegetable with meat. I can combine vegetable with meat, but if I combine vegetable with carbohydrates and protein, I can create a mess in the body. Why? Because they have different nutrients and they can be in my stomach, they can create not a good digestion. So I need to respect how I combine even food. And it makes sense. Why? Because each fruit, each vegetable has its own energy, its own essence. But together, they can work synergistically. And I will explain what I mean by that. So each plant has flavonoids, antioxidants, lots of greatness, lots of good things. Instead, many patent drugs are designed to be isolated. And I will explain also that. So let's understand that isomer is a reflection. So we have a plant. I don't know what this chemical might be. It's not water because it has a carbon. It has a carbon. Let's say this is a sulfur, this is a nutrient or another chemical. And we have a mirror. There's a mirror here, and I reflect that plant in the mirror. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at a different structure. Okay, this 4 is no longer on the right, it's on the left. You get the point. And even the word plant, I put it there just to state it a little bit different. It's spelled backwards. So in other words, guess what? When we are on natural laws, we are using the plant naturally. The body recognizes it. But when we are not, we are creating an isomer. This is an isomer, it's a different structure. So let's imagine ourselves, to make it a little more visualized. This is me, this is any one of you, and we're taking a pattern or something that's being isolated. We're taking this. Because it's different to the natural plant, it creates side effects. So these are the side effects. By the way, I'm not saying that the patents are not good. They're very good. They're very good temporarily. I'm not saying the opposite. But always when we work synergistically with integrative body, mind, and spirit, we create magic. And even in medicine, we cannot be isolated and only treating the body. Even nature is telling us that it's not the right thing, in my opinion, in my occupation. So imagine this guy is being reflected on 3 different mirrors. Imagine he's taking 3 medications. Each medication is going to be a different structure. Imagine when he takes it, the mess or the discomfort or the dystopia that it will create inside the body. Isn't that interesting? I think it's fascinating. Imagine if many medications are taken. So this is Julio, but I'm taking medication for this system, cardio, digestive, mind, whatever. So what's happening? So I even changed colors. I used to be blue, now I'm brown. Anyway, I don't know. So just think about it. Just imagine metabolically what's happening inside. We are not seeing that, but there is a side effect because we're taking lots of isomers. So what's the important thing about not being an isomer, and what's important about taking a natural plant? We talked about this on last presentation, but it's kind of nice to bring it up. Colloidal minerals are created using electrolysis, a process in which mineral molecules are subjected to electricity, causing them to dissolve and absorb into a liquid. These minerals are found in supplements such as Beyond Tangerine, which is one of the products in longevity, and which is one that I haven't seen anywhere else, which is a multivitamin with over 60 colloidal plant-derived mineral. This is the key word, 60 colloidal plant-derived mineral. These supplements offer an efficient and natural way to regulate the body's basic functions and maintain balance in all systems. In addition, longevity supplements can be absorbed by 90 to 98, another key factor, due to their unique source of plant-based mineral. Many out there, no judgment, just pears with apples, we have to compare pear with pear, is that many are not in alignment. Many supplements sometimes are not in alignment with natural laws because they've been isolated in a different way. So this is nature working for us. We need to work with nature, not against nature. So this slide, again, explains the whole thing. We have minerals, rocks, full of iron, whatever. We have these beautiful bacteria. They are going to decompose these minerals. They're going to absorb this. These are the minerals right here. Then the plants will absorb it, and then we eat the plants. So imagine that we are putting pesticides. We're killing these little guys. Let's go back to the law of interdependence. Let's go back to the law of cause and effect. So if I'm ruining the terrain where this is growing, what am I eating? Something to think about. We need to think about it. What are we doing? Why are we getting more illness nowadays? Why aren't we more in alignment with nature and we are so not connected? Just think about it. Duality. Again, I love these slides because it proves the duality. We have nature has given us two hemispheres, a masculine and a feminine. They each provide different attributes. Chinese, the Tao, it's already here in history. We have evolved. We have the different attributes of having an open-mindedness or closed-mindedness. Even in the DNA has two polars, two things that are combined, and we don't even know. We only know probably 10%, 20% of what the DNA does. We don't even know. This is all our ancestors. This is all our evolution. So anything that our parents did is inside of us. The grandparents, everything is coded. We have codifications in our DNA. Sometimes they get activated, sometimes they're dormant. We're in the process of getting them activated. And then when I took my biomagnetism class, and we work with magnets, we use the polarity, we use the negative and the positive side. Why? Because life is about energy. And to create energy, we need those two polarities, those two positive and negative. And this is the beautiful thing about colloidal nature, again, working with nature and not against. When we're eating something colloidal, right, the colloids are negative, but the gut lining in our body is positive. I'm sorry, the attraction of positive, the mineral, and then when we are absorbing it, the lining of our gut is negative. So they attract. So they create an absorption that is much faster. This is fantastic. This is the magic. This is working with the divine intelligence. Once we understand that and we get out of the dormancy, we get out of not being aware, then we start working with our body, and then the essence takes control of the human side of us in alignment with natural law. So then there are other minerals like calcium, magnesium, and potassium, which work a little bit different, but there are proteins that can help us with that. But still, the negative and positive ions are still present in order to work synergistically and to attract those two and create a better absorption. So then, very briefly, why do we need supplementation? We already know. I already answered it. We are not in alignment with natural law. When we put a naturopath or something, besides providing a protocol, I'm observing on my patients that yes, they're being very disciplined and all that, but there was something missing. Yes, the 90 nutrients are there, but there was not a certain connection with natural law. So I always ask my patient, please go outside, get some bathing, put your feet on the ground, go to the beach, drink salty water, get water from the ocean, put mineral, it's a process that we follow, and give your patient or your family member ocean water. I mean, there's so many things in order to improve and to synergistically and to potentialize and to make it more powerful of the protocol. So more in alignment, faster healing, optimum health. So why do we need necessary supplementation? We have an unbalanced diet, and we know why. Lots of processed food. I already spoke about the agriculture and processed food. What are we doing to the agriculture? What's our lifestyle and changes? I mean, are we having a good lifestyle? Are we having sunbathing? Are we sleeping okay? How's our stress level? Dietary restriction. Let's say I'm vegetarian. Respect to vegetarians, please don't get me wrong. But some according to the individuality of each person, everybody's different. I may be a meat eater or egg eater versus another one that might be more vegetarian. So it's always about balance, and that's respecting the belief. A belief can be a programming inside that human side. Respectful, I said this very respectfully. So increased knowledge, that's what we're doing right now. By increasing knowledge, then we are becoming more in alignment. We are understanding much better what's going on inside of us and outside of us, because again, everything is cause and effect. It is important to mention that although supplements can be helpful, they should not replace a healthy, balanced diet. It's always advisable to consult a health professional before starting any supplementation regimen to ensure that it is appropriate and does not cause adverse effects. So while a lack of nutrients in the soil due to modern agriculture, this may be a contributing factor. The need of supplementation is also influenced by other aspects such as food processing and dietary habits. Again, habits, so important. Therefore, supplementation is used to fill those nutritional gaps and help people maintain their health in an environment where food is not always enough. Important note, why it's important. Natural versus synthetic, I already explained. Natural is in relation. Everything is absorbed, the gut lining, the ions, everything was fine. Synthetic, I isolate one chemical. I change the structure. It becomes an isomer. Therefore, it creates side effect because it's not natural. Natural synergy. When I put different plants together, every plant together, it becomes powerful, beautiful, natural. Everything has vitamins, mineral. Everything is incredible. However, how is the land where we're growing the plants? Something to think about it. Pure side effects, I already explained why. Evolutionary adaptation, I love this. Humans have evolved in a natural environment and have developed biological mechanisms to extract and use nutrients from plants. Patent draws, on the other hand, are synthetic substances that sometimes the body does not fully recognize, which can make their absorption and use less efficient. In short, the body is better prepared to handle plant nutrients due to their historical and evolutionary relationship with them, their complex shape, and their natural synergy. Patent draws is the opposite. What is the meaning of that? When our great-grandparents used to take chamomile to relax them, guess what? That is in our DNA. It's coded. It's part of us. It belongs to us. It's part of nature. When I take something chemical that the body doesn't recognize it, the DNA is not ready. If I have offspring, my offspring will not recognize it because it's not natural. So just think about that the DNA is something magical that has all the codings of the universe in a way. Let me put it that way. It sounds a little bit too big, but it's true. So divine intelligence, I already talked about that. We need to work with that divine intelligence. The body knows what to do. The body knows what to do when we give it what it needs. The ego gives it. The human side gives it something different because we're not aware. So divine intelligence refers to the idea that divine or universal wisdom plays a fundamental role in the healing and well-being of the human being. Well-being, the being side of us, essence. It is an approach that recognizes that the body, mind, and spirit are interconnected. Interconnected is a law, and that there is a higher intelligence that can guide a person's recovery and balance. Isn't that fascinating? I think it's fascinating. So something to reflect upon. What is needed for the essence to remain in the body? and what does that body need for the essence to remain. It's different. What is needed for the essence to remain in the body? The essence needs a body that is not that dense. When the body becomes so dense, toxicity, heavy, dense, no energy, that essence goes away. Goes away. It's like a cellular. If I have a cellular, right, which I have it right here, and my battery is not working anymore, that body is not working. That means that I have to change cellulars. The phone is no longer good. And what does that body need for the essence to remain? The body needs to be humble. We need to say to the body, hey, you know what? The essence needs vitamins, nutrients, so you can survive. Otherwise, I cannot stay in. Something that I learned in other knowledge and reading other books is we have a body and a soul. We are supposed, the soul needs to govern the body. It's like the car and the driver, which I mentioned, I think, last time. Who is driving the car? The person or the car? If the car is driving the body, we are in trouble. But if the body, the person, the pilot, the driver is driving that car, then it's okay. So I think that's what's happening sometimes when we put protocols in patients. The car wants to drive that patient. That body wants to drive because the essence is not connected to to natural laws. So then fear in the map of consciousness, in that map of consciousness that I mentioned in previous slide, is under the fear mode and not under the non-fear, which is courage. Courage is the first one to wake us up from the dormancy so we can awaken that consciousness. We can awaken that particular area of our life, which is the essence. This is self-explanatory. This is what's happening to the body. So imagine if we're taking isomers. Where do they go? What are the side effects? Well, we only need 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 3 omegas. And then suddenly we put a lot of isomers. Just imagine that. Or we're putting a plant that doesn't have nutrients anymore. But then eventually, 10 years later, we have an illness. What's happening? What's happening to that divine intelligence that is saying, please help me? The essence is saying, please give me a good body so I can function, I can manifest. And the whole purpose is to create ATP, energy, so I can talk, I can hear. And I say in first person, but I should say in we as a collective. That's what we need. We need a society that is, in full potential, alive, with great ATP, with great nutrients, because we're allowing the divine intelligence within us work because it's aligned with natural laws. Nutrition supplement. Just briefly, so I can summarize whatever I have mentioned here. This is a great product. Like I said, I love herbalism, and I picked this one, the hypothalamus support, because it has interesting plants. It has ashwagandha, and please forgive me if I'm not pronouncing this well, Eleuthero root, bilberry, rhodiola, and schizandra fruit. So these are 5 different plants, I believe. It's purifying water and ethyl alcohol. By alcohol, when we extract the nutrients from the plant or all the nice chemicals, we use that alcohol as a carrier, and ethyl alcohol was very nice. Some people put in olive oil, some people put in honey, which I don't like very much. I don't like, especially if somebody's diabetes or olive oil. We know, sorry, it can create inflammation based upon what we're learning. And imagine that. So we extracted an ethyl alcohol because it's a good carrier. So let's take that plant and explain what's going on. Plant benefits. Ashwagandha is a root, beautiful, scientific name. This one, it's a root. It's not. Follow me in all this synergy, and just compare it when you're taking it in and when we are in alignment with natural law. So it's an adaptogen. It's good for the mind cognitively. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's an antioxidant. It's good for the thyroid. Okay, why? It comes. This is working. This one is not only working on the hypothalamus, but also on that axis, which is the thyroid and the adrenals. It helps with sugar levels. It helps with diabetes. It improves physical performance. Let's take the other one. This one, Siberian ginseng, is the scientific. It's also an adaptogen, mental clarity, immune system. It's great for the immune system. Now we are adding a good chemical item here from the plant, which is going to synergize with the ashwagandha. It's good for physical support and recovery. It's good for mood, adaptogen as well, support blood sugar, etc. Bilberry, Vaccinium myrtillus, antioxidant, great for anthocyanins, great for the eyes. It's a great antioxidant, beautiful, great for the eyes, fatigue, circulation. Now we're adding another one. So is ashwagandha only for the hypothalamus? I mean, is this beautiful product only for the hypothalamus? Look how many other areas of the body we're helping at the same time. Why? Because that's the magic of plant. Because they are not isolated. Rhodiola, this was used for astronauts. This is great. It's an adaptogen, improved mental clarity, reduce fatigue. It's incredible. Oxygen, antioxidant, cognitively, etc. Schizandra, powerful adaptogen, helps with focus and mental clarity. Now it supports health by aiding detoxification. So imagine immune system. We have here immune system. We have for the mind. We have for the thyroid. We have for so many things. Isn't that incredible? Anti-aging properties. That means that instead of being 100 now, we're going to be now 40. Looked at 40. Health, balance, food, struggle levels. But when I said age, it's not so much about the age. That's chronologically. But there is a biological age as well. So this is why we're talking about anti-aging. Support the immune system, another one, and some anti-inflammatory effects. So when we put all these plants together, it becomes so powerful that it's incredible. This is the magic of plant. So what is an isomer? Let's say I'm going to put a patent and I'm going to create an ashwagandha patent. I'm going because it's good only as an adaptogen. So I'm going to take only this area of the plant and I'm going to forget about all this. Is that the same ashwagandha? No, now it's an isomer. Now, because it's lacking the rest and they're not working as synergy, that particular plant, it becomes it becomes like it goes through a process that it becomes not good. It becomes not imbalanced. It becomes it loses its magic. So that is exactly what's happening with some patents, respectfully. But all patents, or most of the medications, they come from plants. So that's the only difference. They're not bad because if I have something that I need real quick and I really need an adaptogen at that point, it might help temporarily. But that's the only difference. That's the difference between these natural plants and the non-natural. Anyway, we go back here. Why did I put the map of consciousness? Because plants are here. Plants are here. Plants are perfect. Plants are all being. They're complete. Whereas when we reduce a component from the plant, then we decrease its vibration. And that's what I mean by survival paradigm. It's really so much for survival. What's happening when we suddenly we become ill? We go into survival mode, and then we need all this medication quick. Let's say I have an accident, God forbid, or somebody, we need something fast. So we go into survival paradigm. So immediately our vibration decreases. Even nature or the context of life is proving us this. Why? Because we're not aware at that point. We're not functioning. Anyway, these slides were before. This is just to explain that we need to treat the body holistically, body, mind, and spirit. And for each particular area of that integrated medicine, we have occupations. And that's what I mean by that. For the mind, meditation is incredible. Aromatherapy, the limbic system, mindfulness, the spirit. We have scalar energy. So I mentioned this before as I was talking about the 90 nutrients. But now, after I was doing this presentation, my consciousness changed a little bit more. And I said, okay, we have homeostasis, direct and indirect. Why direct? The 90 nutrients that work in all areas of the body. They work for the body. We need good nutrients for the mind, and the spirit will work much better because the spirit now can be, when we are in alignment with nature, the cosmos can be downloaded. We have ideas, creativity, all those things come from non-form. They come from a place that we don't know. So the better we are in balance, the spirit will be more in alignment with the rest of the body, which is the essence. Why indirect? Because This body, let's go back for a minute. This body cannot work by itself. It needs the help of everybody, even though they say the opposite. And the 90 nutrients, it works direct in all of them, but they work indirectly in one another. But when we are in alignment mentally, homeostasis, of course, and the parasympathetic system gets activated. So having said that, what's also missing? I said, interesting, natural laws. We are in alignment, we are with natural law. So the fear goes away. That's why when we are in a protocol and we believe in what we're doing and we have faith on that, and faith means believing in what we don't see. And if what we don't see is the cosmos, but we are in alignment, we will understand it. We're understanding the land when it's not well nutrified and we're eating the plants that don't have enough nutrients. So I have the faith and the belief that I'm not eating well when I'm eating a tomato because there's not enough nutrients. So faith now becomes a reality because now there is more awareness. Why? Because there is an alignment with natural law. So anyway, after that, let's go back to this little heart, which I love very much. I always said that health is like a puzzle. Every therapy, every piece brings the human being into balance. Nutrients are the basis for the proper functioning of the body's biochemistry. We need all different therapies. Yes, we all work together. Functional medicine is here. Yes. But in order for all that body to work together, in order to be in alignment with all those three aspects, body, mind, and spirit, the body needs 90 nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 omega. And if one is in alignment with natural laws and doing all the necessary things, sunbathing, good talks, good conversations, balance of stress, all those nice things, saunas to get metal out of the system. I mean, so many things, and we are in alignment with natural laws. Then bingo, I think it's fascinating. I think optimum health can be easily achieved because the divine intelligence is working with us, not against us. Again, this is my motivator. I always end with this slide. These are my two mothers. They passed away. They are with God. 103, 82. She was in alignment more than my mom. She was plants and she never took medications, none of that. So I have the proof right here. I'm in the middle. I provided her things when she was not consciously. When she was conscious, she said no. She always said yes to everything because she didn't have all the five senses. I mean, she was completely, let's say, an unconscious suicidal. And she was more conscientious, and because her human side was more awakened, but she was not at the end so much in alignment with natural law. I mean, we're all gonna die, but she died at 103. That's what I want to emphasize. And she died of 82. And the tree, I love this tree. I always end this with the end. We are a tree. We're gonna die one day. We were born, we're here, and we have specific lifespan, which is called life. How are we going to do that? How are we going to live it? Are we going to live it aligned with natural law or not in alignment with natural law? That will depend how we're going to die also. Are we going to die with dignity or are we not? That is for us to figure out. It's a process. We are here as, I believe myself, that God put us in this position of being mentors or facilitators. I don't know what the name we are nowadays, but this is the idea. I hope you enjoy the presentation. If it sounded too complicated, I hope it did not. But if we can come out of this presentation saying the following, I will be happy. We are a body, a mind, and a spirit. We all need to be working together and not separately. If we can understand that the body needs nutrients, if we can become aware that those nutrients are no longer here, that we need to supplement because of that, and that we also are part of this ecosystem, which is surrounded by natural laws that cannot be changed, just God-given, interdependent, cause and effect, adaptation, etc. And we work with them and not against them, optimum health can be achieved. And I think that's the magic of life. Thank you.
Absolutely working with nature instead of working against it. Julio, thank you so much. We've got comments coming in saying, love your presentation, Julio. Thank you so much. And, you know, you gave a lot of information that we really need to think about. You've got the natural, you've got the isomers, and how differently they respond, or the body responds to them. You know, our time is up.
I'm sorry, I took a long time.
No problem.
Oh, boy.
Bruce is saying, gracias, Cesar, tu expresión. Oh my goodness, I need work on my Spanish. But thank you, Bruce. So for his, yeah, he appreciates you so much. And thanks for the explanation, the extended explanation, I think is part of what that says. And Corey says, thank you as well. You know, as we were going through, I was making notes of our next topics with you, which I think would be absolutely fantastic. Using your experience and education and knowledge and just sharing it more. We're honored to be able to help you do that, and because it's helping all of us, and that's what your heart is all about, is just helping people. Nancy also says thank you. So we appreciate you, folks. You know, if you have questions, if you're not working with somebody, or you have, you know, questions that have to do with what Julio is sharing, he does have a contact. It is Julio cmb3@gmail.com. Thank you, Marilyn, for putting that up there.
Thank you.
As he does do, well, you do consultations in helping people see where there might be gaps in what they've got going on in their lifestyle. So we appreciate you being able to offer that to our audience. So, and, you know, and folks, there is a modest little charge for that. But he absolutely does it from his heart and doesn't, you know, empty the pocketbook on that. If I could get our co-hosts up on the screen with us, that would be absolutely fantastic, as I could not do this program all by myself. I could, but I would be a total basket case, and I would need a lot of valerian, which is found in our de-stress, which I do take, and I love.
I love it. Yeah, me too.
But with this team, we're able to work together, and many hands make light work. So greatly appreciate that. Angelica also says, muchas gracias, Becca. And Julio, excelente presentación. See, I got that one. Yeah. Thank you, Angelica. But we have on the screen with us today, we have Albert joining us from South Africa, letting everybody in. Thank you so much, Albert. We have Ruth Ellen, my executive production manager, helping to make sure that the stream goes out where it's supposed to be, grabbing that information, putting in the graphics. So for those of you that are watching us out on YouTube or Rumble or Apple TV or Roku or Amazon, all those different places, and you see dailywithdoc.com at the top, and then who's talking at the bottom, that is because Ruth Ellen's putting that all together for us all. And we have Marilyn's, and if you're here live with us in the Zoom, you're seeing how much she works as she is typing and putting information into the chat, so that as you hear it, you can also read the great details. And we also have Sherry, one of my technical support, who also helps with making sure that the stream goes out to the different locations, make sure that it's continually streaming. And as we have questions, she helps to bring those questions into the live Zoom, which is also what Rod does, is he's watching the different platforms and helping to bring those questions in and making comments and answering questions there in the chats as well. And AJ, doing a little bit of everything, folks, as he has been responsible for helping us get out on all the different applications, all the different apps and platforms. That's the word. So thank you so much, AJ, for all that you do, keeping a pulse on the latest and greatest of technology for us and helping to make sure that we are in line and meeting people where they're at. Folks, you have been watching Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes. As a certified naturopathic practitioner and also the director of student services for the Institute of Holistic Health, it is my honor and privilege to be able to bring resources like Julio to you, meeting you where you're at and helping you to have a greater awareness of what it takes for holistic health and well-being. Julio, once again, thank you so much for being on with us. We greatly appreciate you taking this time. Watch us
Thank you.
On Telegram. So if any of you are on Telegram, you can do a search for Daily with Doc. You'll find our channel there on Telegram. And we have tomorrow, Pharmacist Ben Fuchs. So for all of us that absolutely love to hear the wisdom of Pharmacist Ben, he's going to be here live with us on Daily with Doc. Again, you can join us by going to zoom.dailywithdoc.com. And if you want to watch the replay, you can always find us on any of the different platforms. Look for Daily with Doc and Becca. And on some of the platforms, we are airing through our mother channel. So not sister channel, it's mother channel, Critical Health News. As we are directly related to Critical Health News, we greatly appreciate all that they've done to pave the way for us. Folks, you can do live.dailywithdoc.com, find the most recent presentation, and then make sure that you subscribe, like us, but most of all, share us. Share us with people that you know and love, because you never know who's been waiting for the information that may have been shared in this program or any of our programs to help you take control of your own health and create a better health journey. Until next time, bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to our live. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.